we're doing this video on the Mosin Nagant 9130. Just some quick history on this gun here. The particular gun here, this Mosin Nagant, fought the enemies of the Russians for 70 years, from the 1890s through the early 1960s. It was used against the Germans, the Japanese, and their fellow Russians. Back in the day, this rifle was used by snipers that killed entire companies of enemy soldiers. Now, we don't want to get too much into the history, because this could go on and on and on and on. There is a bunch of places online there that you can look up really great articles on this gun, and you can just basically find out all of the history on this one here, the 9130, or your particular gun you have. But like I said, we're not going to get too much into history. Alright, just some quick tips on like when you're purchasing these. There's not a whole lot of moving parts to this gun, which is what makes it such an old warhorse that's reliable. Basically, just check and make sure the inside of the bore is bright, and you might have to look through a few guns to see this here, and make sure, you know, if like at a gun show, it might be you know, they have it all locked down. You might need to get him to unclip that, which, you know, sometimes a problem if you're there during when it's busy. Make sure it's not, and you can get a chance to look down it. You can look, basically make sure it's not pitted and wore out and all that. Make sure the a lot of people talk about the trigger there. They say it can have a real poor trigger. See, I'm not really interested in that. You can replace the trigger on there with a newer one from different companies. Make sure the bolt here, when it locks up, make sure it locks tightly. And like I said, there's not a lot of moving parts on this gun, so you know, you really can't go wrong if you're wanting something just to hunt with. But that's just a few quick things to check for when you're purchasing it. The next thing to talk about on this would be the ammo. The ammo for this rifle is still pretty cheap. You can still buy it in bulk. It's 7.62 by 54R. You can get it in bulk, like I say, in 440 rounds or so, and you can get the 800 rounds. I think I seen on there 440 was like 82.50 plus shipping. They sell corrosive and non-corrosive ammo. Now, the corrosive is going to be what you're going to end up buying in bulk, the military surplus type ammo. When you use that, you're going to have to clean your gun with some kind of ammonia-based cleaner, Windage, or what have you, whatever you got, and you're going to have to clean it pretty much right after using it, they're saying, or it will really make it rust out and pit up and really screw up your gun. So that's just some things to keep in mind too. Oh, another quick tip I forgot to mention there is, after you use the ammonia-based product, you do want to use your regular gun cleaning thing and then run a light patch down the barrel with some oil, and that will, you know, make the ammonia quit eating away at the crap. You don't want to finish it with the ammonia base. Next thing on here would be the safety. Now, the safety on this particular rifle is right here in the back. It takes around 20 to 30 pounds of pull pressure here to engage it. You have to pull it all the way back, and then you got to pull it over here counterclockwise. It is a nightmare. The safety on these suck. You can get a ring here for the back. That does help a good bit. Or you can go ahead, you got to just do it the opposite to put it back down. Or you can go ahead and get this standard, well, not standard, the new trigger here, which has the standard side safety on there that you'd want. That is what I'm going to be going for. The ring's a good option, you know, if you want to still kind of keep it a little bit original, but you don't want to screw around with this all the time. This aftermarket trigger, though, is going to have the side safety, and for me, that's the way to go. Now, fortunately, for people who do not want to keep the gun all original, the aftermarket stuff to customize your gun that they sell here for this particular gun is a pretty good bit, actually. You can get everything from, like I was mentioning earlier, a new complete trigger. You can get a scope mount. You can get a scope. You can do the long eye relief scope up here, the pistol on there. You can get an offset scope on there, or you can do just a regular rifle scope. Several companies out there makes the mounts, and you know, you can get whatever scope. Let's see, obviously you can get another stock for it. You can pretty much get any kind of stock for this you want. You can get the synthetic, or you can get the wooden stocks. You can get the Target kind of stock with a thumb hole in it. You name it there. It's all pretty good. Now this bolt on here, you can also get replaced. It's got a straight bolt on there. You can get a bolt on there that kind of resembles a modern day rifle that bends down, and even one that bends down and a little bit back. And you can get that in a two-piece job, where you have to cut this one off and screw the other one in there and all that, and thread it and all. That's a lot of trouble. I'm not going to do that. Or you can get the one piece that comes with the entire section here, the bolt and all. That will be the way I'm going to roll with it, because it would be a lot easier, and I've heard not very good things about the screw-on jobs. They ended up getting them permanently put on there anyways, after breaking or loosening or you name it. But gun has a whole lot of aftermarket accessories. You can pretty much make it your own. I would recommend keeping all the original stuff with it though, because you never know. I mean, not keeping it on the gun, but you know, keeping it somewhere safe after you've made it into your own. Now for the bolt removal on here, that's simple enough. You're going to pull it up right here all the way. You're going to pull it back, and you're going to press and completely depress the trigger, and go ahead and pull the bolt all the way out, which will usually be your first step in cleaning. Put it back in the same way. Squeeze the trigger and put it all the way back in. Now you can let these guns down here by either holding the back like that right there, and that'll take it off there so it won't fire, or you can press the trigger as you're lowering the bolt. And that's pretty simple enough there. That's quick for some really fast field maintenance. Alright, now we're going to get into the sights a little bit here. Now this rear sight, you can make it so you can see it, is 1 through 20, and the numbers represent the range in meters. 1 is 100 meters, 2 is 200, you know, all the way up to 20 is 2,000. Simply enough, the bullet's point of impact is, if it's too low, you got to raise the rear sight up, which is simple enough. You lift it up and you push these two and raise it on up. Basically you raise it up, you know, if it's hitting too low. If it's hitting too high, you lower the rear sight. If it's down here like it is right now at its lowest point, you'll be and you're still shooting way too high, you're going to have to end up making the front sight a little taller. And there's ways of doing that. Some people have been soldering it. Some people put a little bitty what was that, little tube I seen somebody put on the front sight up there, just elevate it up a little bit. Now as far as windage goes, very poor lighting right here. Let me see if I can fix that a little bit. Basically all you can do is use a punch or a hammer or a little bitty sight vise, and you can drift this over. You can see the little rail that's in right there, how it fits. If I can get the camera to adjust. And that is about all you can do for windage. They did put a little, if I can find it, they did put a little mark right there, an alignment mark. And that is about all you can do for windage for this bad boy, on at least this particular model. Now some has it where you can just adjust them with a screw, I've been reading on, but not on this one. Alright, that is about all I'm going to go over on today. The gist of her though is, it's a strong, sturdy, well-built rifle. It is cheap to shoot. I mean, it's got very few moving parts, like I said, so there's not really much that can go wrong with it. It's got a slew of aftermarket stuff. Basically, you know, it's a dang good gun for the money, because it's also cheap to purchase. So have fun shooting. Stay safe, and don't forget to subscribe. And the next video will probably be on putting a stock on this bad boy.